Tribal Health and Human Services Department of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes is proud to present Good Medicine, a program dedicated to the wellness of the Flathead Nation. The mission is summarized quite simply: a healthier people, a stronger nation. We'll strive to make good medicine a reliable source of ideas and information about health issues so that everyone can make informed decisions about their own lifestyle and health care. You'll meet health professionals, tribal government and spiritual leaders, and interesting people from the tribal community discussing important health issues that profoundly affect us all.
Hi, this is Good Medicine. I'm your host, Larry Pitts. Today we have a distinguished group of people here. We've got Penny Kipp, who was the Women's Conference Coordinator of the Well Women Conference we just had. We have Fred Steele, who is coordinating the Men's Conference that's coming up. And we have Sandy Sorrell, who is our Health Educator, Program Manager, sort of jack of all trades. You guys want to say anything to anybody out there on TV land? Sandy, why don't you start?
Hi, Graham.
Hey, Graham. You can look at the camera if you want to.
Hi, Graham.
Fred?
No. Penny?
No.
No? Penny's turning this a little bit red. She's a little bit nervous, but that's okay. We got her on the show. It's fun. Let's start with Penny today. You know, Penny, the Well Woman Conference just got over. I hear it was a lot of success. Actually, I was partly involved with it. Can you tell us some of the highlights of the conference and some things that just happened there that you would like to let people know about?
Sure. The conference was held March 19th and 20th. It was a huge success. We had over 300 people that registered at the mornings of each conference, and not everybody registered, I know that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't.
We had the first morning we held at Two Eagle River School because our keynote speaker drew a really nice crowd for us. We had Dr. Don Bartlett, mm-hmm. Who shared with us his life story, mm-hmm. Overcoming handicaps, or overcoming his disabilities of a handicap, growing up on a reservation in an alcoholic home, et cetera, et cetera. He has a wonderful story he was sharing with the crowd, and it's entitled Macaroni at Midnight. Mm-hmm. After that we had...
We'll stop right there just for a sec. Let's talk about Don just for 1 second further. I hear he's writing a new book, and I understand that chapter, was it 647, is going to be keynoted to Penny Kipp's drive from Missoula to the conference. You want to talk about that?
I got to pick up Don at the airport, mm-hmm. and on the way back, as we were driving back, he was watching the traffic as there was cars passing, coming toward us as they usually do. He was kind of tense in his seat, and I said, you know, this is a real high fatality highway. Mm-hmm. And he kind of looked at me and I said, they even have a bumper sticker that says, pray for me, I drive Highway 93. Mm-hmm. And he didn't believe me. He said, no. And I said, yeah. So we shared that little story, and so when he did the conference, he said yes, that I would be in his story about the woman on Highway 93. He did tell a little bit of a fib. He told the crowd that I said, hang on. I didn't, not out loud.
Of course, you let me drive him back, so there was the hanging on.
Yes, I think you're chapter 642.
That's correct. All right. Go on with your story about the conference, though.
Next, we had some wonderful speakers this year. We had tribal elders that came in. There was a panel of four elders that came in and talked about respect, mm-hmm. talked about children, talked about raising children, and they also talked about storytelling, mm-hmm. and how storytelling is important in families. Right. One elder told a story, and then our time ran out at the end of their session, which was sad because one little girl raised her hand in the audience and said, can you tell us another story? Mm-hmm. So there's a real want for that sort of thing in our community right now, and I'm hoping somebody else can pick up on that and use our elders to tell some more stories to our kids.
Tremendously bonding. I just see that with the children. We're just really captivated by it. So
mm-hmm. It was great. It mm-hmm. was a real nice time. We had flute players come in every morning. and play along with the drums that opened up the morning for us. The drum group was the Eagle Sisters from Kicking Horse Job Corps. They will also be in Don Bartlett's book.
Right.
They were wonderful. We had flute players. James Big Crane opened up the conference for us. The second day was Rainey Arlee, who's new to the area again, and she did a wonderful job and did a little talk with us and shared some real good laugh times for us.
She was a hoot.
She was a kick, right? We had Sister Elsie Kelly, who is a sister from St. Patrick's Hospital, and she came in and shared what we called All About Life, and it included all about life. It was, she was another one that related to the audience in a real humorous way.
Right. As I said, she was all-encompassing.
Gary and Laura Swan came to the conference, and they talked about abstinence, and they showed they talked to the kids, and they showed a slideshow, and it was well received by the kids. Joan and Rachel Arlee came and talked about the old ways and the good old days, and talked to us about real basic things that we can keep up in our own households and in our communities, learning to shake hands with the elders, learning to communicate with them again, and some real valuable traditions to keep up in our homes. We've been overwhelmed with the number of evaluations we received back, and the community, people coming up to us and telling us what a good conference it was. The evaluations were all good.
Really?
The only one, maybe there was 2 or 3 that said the room was a little too hot.
Okay, that's tough, huh?
Yeah, but other than that, it was a great conference. People enjoyed it. People enjoyed themselves. We had youth come. The schools we asked the schools if they would like to bring some youth. We ended up having to limit the number of youth coming because schools wanted to send more than what we had room for. But the youth did really well. We had comments on how well the youth behaved.
Right.
And it was overall a success.
Yeah, I thought it was a great conference. What are your plans for the future with this kind of stuff? Are you going to try to leapfrog this into the next generation as far as next year, or are you going to continue the same type of theme, or are you going to go a whole new direction?
Well, you know, every year they kind of have different coordinators to the Women's Conference. So it's whoever takes it on next year and whatever direction they want to go with it. I think it's headed in a good direction if somebody wanted to pick up with it. We may do it again.
Okay.
And we had an excellent, excellent group of women.
Well, since this is going to be on tape, would you like to put in a pitch that you would like to do this next year?
No, not right now.
Okay. Well, I thought we could just try right now, you know.
I would like to put a pitch in for people to come and join us in putting this together. I will definitely be a part of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'd want to coordinate the whole thing again. But we had some wonderful women, and it started out as just, you know, what should we do and where should we go with this and what do we want for our communities,
Right.
and the ideas of people bringing in what they see the youth needing in our communities, and building onto that and on and on. And finally we just said we need some real basic family values.
You're building a foundation again, you know, and I think that's really positive. And in fact, you even came to our house on Wednesday night and had dinner with us, and those flowers were wonderful. I want to thank you for that. And you played footsie with me a little bit. That was fun. But, you know, I think, you know, Penny, that the conference went great. And I, for one, would like to see you be part of it next year. So please consider it.
Again, our title was Restoration for Our Future Generations. And without a vision, people perish. And our speakers spoke to that, and it was a great conference.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Fred, let's go to you. Men's Wellness Conference. Fred, how are you going to make me well?
Well, that's something, when you show up, we're going to find out after 2 days whether or not you're well or not. I think after hearing Penny and what she had to say about how successful the Women's Conference was, and the fact that 300 plus women showed up, it's going to be a tough task to beat that. But right now we're organizing, setting up an agenda that would attract the Native men across the reservation here to come to it for 2 days. It's going to be on the dates of April 23rd and April 24th at Kicking Horse Job Corps. We're fortunate to have the Job Corps facility. It saves us some money so that we can apply that money for holding a conference. We worked out an arrangement with Charlie Camel, who's the program director out there, and hopefully things will turn out there and that we see a lot of people coming to it.
What kind of things are they going to address so that, somebody who's watching this program today, Fred, what would draw them to this program?
Well, there's a number of issues that affect the Native American man out there. Some of the issues that we come up with were multi-generational trauma issues that face all of us as we grew up from the time we're born to the time we die. There's cultural oppression. I think some of these are going to be addressed during day one. Spirituality, sobriety, father-son issues. As I look through the agenda here, and we're still, like I said, it's still pretty tentative. Affirmations, socializing again, commitments, guilt, anger release. There's a number of issues. If anyone's got ideas as to what they want presented, get a hold of us and we'll try to work something in.
Okay, well, I snuck a peek because I've helped you do a little bit of this. You're bringing in 2 speakers. Who are they and what are they going to address?
2 speakers. They were previously employed with Indian Health Service. One of them's a native Montanan by the name of Clayton Small from the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. And the other's person's name is David Carrillo, and I think he's out of the Southwest there. And they facilitated men's conferences across Indian country, and hopefully what they presented there and what they learned from there, they're going to come here and apply it to the group or the audience we've got assembled on them 2 days.
Does it cost anything, this conference,
No.
to somebody coming into it?
No cost.
No cost? What are the hours going to be of the conference?
We're going to run from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Wednesday and 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock again on Thursday. I think there's some of the men that want to hold some evening activities on Wednesday evening. Kicking Horse will be providing the meals out there, so you don't have to run to town to eat.
So
and come on
Willie's
back.
cooking?
Yeah, Willie Kai is cooking, and he'll put some weight on you.
All right. We know that's a challenge for me, so.
Right.
All right. Looking at your schedule, you even have a few women scheduled to be speakers in some of the breakouts. Is that true?
We did previously have some women speakers on her, I guess, but upon talking with the department head, she more or less decided that men should be with men, whereas women were with women at their conference.
Well, the women just had 2 conferences. They had one at Kicking Horse also after Penny's, and so they should be well by now, and we've got to work on ourselves, I think.
Right.
All right.
There's a lot.
Your 2 main speakers that you're bringing in was Clayton and what was the other gentleman's name?
David Carrillo.
David Carrillo. They're also known as our GONA trainers.
Right. GONA stands for the Gathering of Native Americans. And it's kind of like a spiritual, a cultural push that's been going on, I think, for the last 6 or 7 years across Indian country to promote healing among the communities where there is a need, a big need. And we set aside the dates of April 21st and April 22nd, which is a Monday and Tuesday, out at Kicking Horse Job Corps, to where Tribal Health and Human Services personnel are going to be attending a 2-day workshop to promote healing in the communities and to overall better ourselves across the reservation here, get some guidance.
You've been at conferences with these 2 men before, haven't you, with GONA?
Right, and that's...
Are you impressed with them, I mean, as far as facilitators, or?
I went in there with a little bit of doubt, but after 2 days going through a GONA conference, it tends to release you a little bit more and makes you realize what some of the programs, in addition to mine, the mental health people, the alcohol and the counseling people have to put up with on a day-to-day business, and it just puts you more in touch with reality and puts you on a path towards wellness that all of us at one time or another would want to jump on. And I left feeling good after I went 2 days.
Well, I heard they changed your name over there. Is that true?
No, I
You don't want to address that, huh, Fred?
no, I don't.
You're taking the Fifth Amendment real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to cover right now, Fred?
Just that Mrs. Bear Don't Walk, I guess, went to council and asked for a change of a duty station for the employees for the tribes, that on these 4 days here that they be allowed to attend the conference, which I hope we see a lot of the tribal employees attend it. It's worthwhile.
Okay, now, is that all the tribal employment, or is that just tribal health and human services?
Well, I'm guessing it's open. It's
Okay.
open, right.
So what we're trying to do is we're pushing for larger than 300 men there so that we can beat the women's conference, right?
Boy, that would be a plus for
That
us.
would be a great plus, wouldn't it?
Right.
And if that happened, is that true that you said you'd take Penny out for a T-bone steak dinner?
I think I'd take her up on that, yeah.
All right, see, Penny, I'm working for you, all right? All right. Sandy,
Yes, Larry.
well, we got you here finally. It's been a long haul. But you are our director of our health education. You are the program manager of the fitness centers. Before we take a break here, do you want to just go over the hours of our fitness centers? They're sort of jumping all over the place, and so people sort of have an idea what's happening out there on the reservation for me right now, and then we'll take a break after that, and we'll come back after that. So.
Sure. I'd like to address why our hours are jumping around, and that's due to lack of staff. We have lost one position, and we have also lost our part-time help, which was JTPA, and so we're on a skeleton crew right now and doing the best we can. And I do have hours for Ronan right now are 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
That's 7 in the morning to 8 at night?
Yes, it is.
Well, you never know.
Well, it is. And in St. Ignatius, we have kind of an oddball schedule. Monday is 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Tuesdays is 6 to 4:30, and then we have Women's Night on Tuesdays, which is just for women, and Greg Dumontier is volunteering to do that. So
He's a smart man, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
We appreciate his help, and that's from 6 to 9, again on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, our hours are from 6 to 6:30 again, and Thursday, 6 to 9, so the guys can come down and play basketball. Friday, we're at 6 to 4:30. Saturday, 9 to 11 in the morning, and we have a volunteer there. And Sunday, 10 to noon, and we have another volunteer there. Elmo is a little bit more complicated. We have Chrissy coming in every day, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 to 8:30. And then on Tuesdays, you're up there, Larry, from 10:30 to 12. And we have Rosemary Kai volunteering from 6 to 7:30 on Tuesday nights. Wednesday is 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock with Rosemary again. And then Orsino will pick up that slack from 6 to 7:30. He will be there. And Thursday, we have Larry back up there 3 to 6. So if you need to come in and do your massage and get a workout, it'll be a great time. And then
The hands.
that's right, the hands. Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 is Chrissy, and we're trying to get more hours up there, and we have some things on the back burner right now to try to get more hours at each center so we can be open for the people. And
All right, Sandy. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll be back in a few minutes here, and so thank you.
Good shot. You're both shooting really well. It takes a lot of practice to be good with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I remember that from our bow hunter education class.
This is a lot of fun. Let's shoot some more.
The Montana Bowhunters Association reminds all first-time bowhunters that completion of a National Bowhunters Education Foundation course is required before a bow license can be obtained. Contact your nearest Fish, Wildlife, and Parks regional office for the schedule of classes near you.
Hi, we're back with Good Medicine. I'm your host, Larry Pitts. We're We're here with our distinguished guest today and talking about different issues going on with the tribe right now. Penny Kipp, who is the Women Wellness Conference coordinator. Fred is doing the men's conference up and coming, and Sandy is our health educator. Sandy, let's go with you. Health education, up and coming events. Hit us with it. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, the first thing I'd like to talk about is that Project Red Talon out of the Northwest Indian Health Board is offering a leadership camp for our youth ages 13 to 17. And they have an application which you can get from me. You can call me at 745-4242. And there's a little bit of an essay and I think some referral forms from a teacher and also a tribal health person. It's about a 4-page application, and the due date on that is April 30th. So if you're interested, you would be staying near Portland, and it's a residential program, so you'll be staying there overnight for a 5-day. And all you have to do is get your transportation over, and they will deal with the rest, the food and the lodging. So it's a good deal. What their objectives is to develop leadership skills in our youth, and also to educate them on HIV issues and look at peer education on that issue also. So that's a great program or a great opportunity. Not every person that applies will be selected. They're looking at selecting 40 people from Oregon, Montana, Washington, and Idaho. And
So you can't send 44 from our reservation?
No.
Okay.
I wish we could, because it looks like a great agenda.
All right.
But just contact me on that.
Okay.
April 10th through the 11th, Parent-Infant Stimulation Program is having their Pathways to Wellness, and that's for young children. And that will be down at the old Head Start building in St. Ignatius. Parent-Infant moved in there. And on April 24th, Two Eagle River School will be hosting a HIV conference, and Tribal Health is part of that. We will be tentatively bringing in a speaker who is this very good-looking, tall, cowboy, heterosexual man that was contracted the disease by a woman, and so he's a very powerful speaker, and we just like to ask if anybody would like to have him come to their school to give us a call, and I'll also be out recruiting.
Okay. If they didn't, can other schools come into the session with him at Two Eagle?
I'm not sure. We would need to discuss that with Two Eagle right now.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is Mark Gruber.
Okay.
And I saw him over in Helen, and he was really good. Very good.
All right.
May, we will be having bike rodeos where we're teaching bike safety education, preparing our children to be out on the roads this spring, and give them the knowledge that they need not to get hurt, and using helmets and stopping.
Do you have portable bucking chutes that you haul around to these rodeos, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
We do have bicycles, though. We have very nice bicycles that we take into the schools and do education. We usually educate between 300 and 400 kids a year doing the bike safety stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, a pretty dynamic program. Now you furnish helmets for the kids also.
yes, we do.
So.
That each kid that gets on the bike has to have a helmet on.
All right.
And we're also looking right now at planning a spring wellness fair in May, and we're targeting Ronan, where we would have different providers come in and show their wares, and also Tribal Health would do their normal health screening, blood pressures, blood sugars, fitness testing. We'd have informational booths out, door
Cholesterol?
prizes, yes.
Now, can somebody, anybody in the community come to those?
Yes, there will be a nominal charge for the blood work, though, but
Okay.
It's open to the public, and we'll be sending letters out inviting the practitioners
Great.
to come in.
All right.
And that's it for right now.
For right-
I did want to mention that in St. Ignatius we are having step class, and that is Monday and Wednesday from 4:30 to 5:30.
Right.
So it's a great class. It's easy. Get your heart rate up, burn some calories, get into bikini shape, and summer's almost here.
Now, who teaches that class?
Lynn Hendrickson, and she's a certified ACE instructor, and she knows her stuff. She's very good.
Yeah, she is. She really is. Fred, we're starting to wind down just a little bit. Rabies, flooding. What should we know about them? What's coming up through your department?
Well, during the month of May, traditionally the Indian Health Service and now the Tribal Health and Human Services Department will be conducting an annual rabies vaccination clinic across the reservation, and in each of the communities will be forthcoming on the dates. Right now we've got set are May 6th, May 7th, and May 8th, with 2 evening clinics in there, one in Ronan, one in Polson. For those people who are working during the day, we give them, I think, about 2 hours in the evening to go home, bring their animal up, and we'll get it vaccinated there. We work with Mission Valley Veterinarians Clinic, Ronan, and we work with Salish and Kootenai Housing Authority, their animal control officer, Darcy Myers, and it's well coordinated. Each year we vaccinate up to 400 animals free of charge to tribal members. We also offer at a discount rate there with the veterinarian there, a discount on the parvo, corona, and distemper shot set. If otherwise, you would definitely save some money there if you went with his prices at that time.
All right. There's flooding on the reservation right now in basements. Who can somebody, if they're having flooding that's, in housing or whatever, who can they get hold of?
Well, I heard of there was some minimal amount of flooding going on right now in Hot Springs right there, and we've had a few phone calls from people who were concerned about their wells possibly being contaminated. If you're living in a HUD home or a home on tribal property, you can get a hold of me at 745-2411, and we can see what's going on at that point. If you can't get a hold of me, you can call Salish and Kootenai Housing Authority, the construction program, Alan Sloan's office at 675. I can't think of their.
Well, we'll get that one later. We're winding down on time right now, guys.
All
So
right.
we're just going to have to cut this short. And I want to thank you, the 3 of you, for being on the program today. And if you guys want to watch the program, turn your TVs on tonight at 6 o'clock or tomorrow at noon. This is done on Wednesday afternoons, people. So thank you for watching us today, and have a good day.
Good Medicine is your program. We hope you watch this and subsequent programs to stay informed about your health care. And we'd like to hear from you about how we're doing. Please direct any comments or suggestions you have to us. You can reach us at